particular one, you know, is not factorizable. I'm talking about this, what you're trying to do. Once you have an instruction like this, give your answer correct to 2 decimal places, right?
Yeah.
Just know that it's not going to be factorizable. No matter what you try to do, it won't be factorizable. So it's better you don't just waste your time trying to factorize. Obviously, these other ones you did are factorizable. In fact, they already told you to factorize completely. So you could factorize, and then you solved to get the answers. But for this particular one, it can't be done by factorization. So you need to use a different method. Which method can you use? Because it can't be done by factorization.
Quadratic formula.
Yes, so you can use the general quadratic formula.
Okay.
The general quadratic formula. Do you remember the formula?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. So first of all, you list out your A. A is 2, B is minus 7, C is minus 10. Let me just write it down here to remind you. AX squared plus BX AX squared plus BX and plus C is a general quadratic formula. So A is 2, B is minus 7, and C is minus 10. Make sure you remember the formula. Okay, let me see. You really do?
Mm.
Wow, you really do. You know, they have started providing that. I don't know if they're still going to continue after COVID-19. They were, I think the few years after COVID-19, they were providing the general quadratic formula, but I don't think, I think they said they were going to stop. So you will need to
Yeah.
memorize. It's good that you still remember that. So general quadratic formula, go on, minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Which is just substituting these values a, b, and c into this. All right. Okay. Minus b will now be minus minus 7 because b is 7 minus 7. So minus minus 7 will give us 7. That's correct. Minus 7 all squared. Is that equal to?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just bring this thing out better. Clearer rather. Minus 4 times 2 times minus 10 all over 2. Okay. That gives minus. All right. You want to do the one for plus.
Yeah.
Wow, that's too much. By the way, what did you do here? Please, what did you do here? I think there's something that's missing here.
Oh, I forgot. I forgot to put the minus. Okay. Yeah.
I think that would probably change the answer if I'm not mistaken. Or wouldn't it? Okay. Is this 129?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, let me just write it properly so it will be clearer. 7 minus. This is too much work. Oh, you have to write all of that again to do for plus. So, okay, maybe what I would just advise you to do is, they say you should leave it to how many decimal places? 2, right?
Mhm.
So the first one is minus 1.09. The second one, you don't need to write this again. You don't need to write this again
Okay.
since you already have you already have this, because all this will still be the same. So just write this again and change this to plus. Okay, so for the plus, so or this. So these are the two answers, right?
Yeah.
Interesting. Before we look at this question here, can we do this one? Can you do this one at the right hand side? The question says, the diagram is given not to scale, and then we are asked to show that 3x squared plus 6x minus 25 is equal to 0.
Mhm. But I'm asking like, does it want me to is the question asking me to like find the perimeter or the area or something like that?
All right, okay, all right. But the area isn't given. Assuming we were given the area, we would have found the area and equated it to that. But you asked a good question, if it's about area. Let me even mention that. I think it's good to mention that. So assuming the area is given as 40 cm squared, for instance, right? Are you listening?
Mhm.
So how do we even find the area of a triangle?
Um, height times length divided by 2.
Exactly, that's length times height, or half base times height, length times height divided by 2. So we could have done this: x plus 3 times 5, which is the height, isn't it?
Yeah.
Divided by 2. And since they said the area is 40, we now equate it to 40 and then solve the equation. But they didn't give us anything about the area. You see, look at the instruction. The diagram shows a right angle triangle with sides, length 5 centimeter, x plus 3, 2x plus 3, and so on. And we are just asked to show this. So the area wasn't given. Neither was the perimeter given. If they gave us the perimeter, assuming they said the perimeter was 50 LCM, we would have equated the sum of all the sides. In other words, we would have said this plus this plus this equal to 50. But the perimeter wasn't given, so we can't do anything about area or perimeter. I hope you got what I said.
Yeah.
So none of those, none of those two I mentioned earlier was given. No perimeter was provided, no area was provided. So we have to think of something else so that we'll be able to show this. Now this is a right angle triangle. Now right angle triangle, is that enough hints?
What did you say?
It's a right angle triangle. Is that enough hint?
Pythagoras theorem.
Interesting. So Pythagoras theorem. Apply Pythagoras theorem because it's a right angle triangle.
Okay.
Pythagoras theorem. That's correct. A squared plus B squared equal to C squared. Where A and B are the so pen glitching.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, I accidentally left. Give me a sec.
Oh, you too. All right, so I can see what you're doing. Pythagoras theorem, you know that one side squared plus the other side squared is equal to the longest side squared. So in this case, this is your A, this is your B, and this is your C. Let me use different colors. Wow, the pen is still glitching. Or your internet.
Yeah.
Okay. Or squared. Good. So this squared for A plus this squared for B equals this squared for C. All right, so you simplify. When you simplify, you will eventually get this. That's the idea. So we will expand this, isn't it? I think you must have done that already. So we expand, because this is x to the power 3 all squared, which is actually x plus 3 times x plus 3. That's for this. Raised to the power 2. Before we add plus 5, which is 5 squared as 25. And then this one is equal to 2x plus 3 times 2x plus 3. Okay, so we can actually carry out the expansion. This will give us x squared, which is x times x, then x times 3. That will give us plus 3x, plus 3x, then The other one to 3 times x, and 3 times 3 will give us 6 plus 3x again, then plus 9, then plus this 25 here equals, we expand this other one to this time this, and this time this. That will give us 4x squared plus 6x. Also this time this, and this time this will give us plus 6x plus 9. All right, I don't know if you have gotten to this. So we simplify by collecting all the terms to one side. The idea is to try and arrive at this, what we're asked to show. So we collect everything to the left-hand side. We move everything to the left-hand side. In other words, all of this should be moved to the left-hand side. I think it's better to move, let's move all to the right-hand side. The thing is, 4x squared is bigger here. So let's move all to the right-hand side. Let's move all of this to the right-hand side. So I already have 4x squared on the right-hand side plus 6x plus 6x plus 9. All of them on the right-hand side. So I can move all these other ones on the left to it. Starting with minus, with x squared, it crosses over and becomes minus x squared. This one crosses over and becomes minus 3x. This one crosses over minus 3x again. We could have simplified, but since I've written it, let me just allow it. Oh my goodness, that's long. I don't have enough space. Okay. Minus 9 minus 25. Okay, so we moved everything across. What will be left will be 0, because we moved all on the left hand side. We moved all to the right. So what is left is 0. So let's simplify. 4x squared minus x squared is 3x squared. So that gives us 0 is equal to 3x squared. That's for x squared. That's 4x squared minus x squared. Then 6x plus 6x, that's 12x. Minus 3x minus 3x. I think what will be left will be 6x plus 6x. Then we come to the numbers. Plus 9 minus 9. That's 0. Then minus 25. That's minus 25 left. I think we have arrived at what we have in the question. So that's it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Go ahead and do this. Go, finish it up.
Okay,
Oh, it hasn't gotten better, has it?
what, this
The
question?
pen?
No.
Okay, please, let me just write out this so that we know we are done with that. So x, of course, applying the general quadratic formula will be plus or minus. So minus, by the way, a is equal to 3, b is equal to, a is 3, b is equal to 6, b is 6, and c is equal to minus 25. C is equal to minus 25. So we apply that again. X equal to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So we have minus b now will be minus 6. Minus 6 plus or minus. Well, you normally like to start with minus or plus. I don't know. But let me start with minus first of all. Plus square root of b squared will now be 6 squared minus 4 times a is 3, just substitution, 3 times c is minus 25 times minus 25 all over 2 times a is 3. And this will give us, you may need to help me with your calculator over there.
Yeah, okay.
So that's minus 6
I'll do it now. Hold on.
plus, okay. Just let me get the one inside the bracket, inside the square root.
Okay, what's that? 4 times. It's 18.33.
That is, have you taken the square root already?
So it's I mean, if you want it in the root form, it's 4 root 12.
4 root 12. Sorry. I mean just what is inside the square root, the answer itself.
Yeah, I know.
That's 36.
That's,
Just only what is inside the square root.
yeah, I'm aware. 4 root 12, 21. Sorry, not 12.
Pardon?
4 root 21
I'm not,
or 18.33.
I think you've given me the final answer, but that's fine, no problem. Let me just write it down. But I wanted only what is
Wait,
inside.
that isn't the final answer.
I mean, you've already found the square root already. It seems you've already found the square root. I just wanted 6 squared, that's 36, minus 4 times 3 times minus 25. I wanted that,
Okay.
only that. But
Okay.
no problem. Do you want to provide that, or I should just go ahead and write what you've given me? So over 6. Don't worry, you've already solved what is inside the bracket. That's inside the square root. So finish up. You can just do this now. It said 2 decimal places, please. That answer you gave me should be to 2 decimal places.
It's 18.33.
Oh, okay, 18.33. So simplify this.
4.05. I mean 2.05, sorry.
So 2.05. All right, that's for when we applied the plus, because it is plus or minus. So let's apply the minus. You can start with anyone. You can start with the minus first, like you did. I think the previous one you did the minus first before you did the plus. Okay, so here I decided to do the plus first, so we do the minus now. So x is this, or x is this. For the minus, we now have, starting again with minus 6. Minus 6.
Okay.
So instead of plus here, I just apply the minus. So minus 18.33 over 6. So that gives us what?
Minus 4.05.
Minus 4.05. Okay, so the two answers are minus 4.05 and 2.05. So it says calculate the area of the triangle.
Okay, so
Calculate the area of the triangle.
Okay, so 5 times.
Which one are you substituting with? Is it the x of minus or the x of plus?
X of plus.
Okay. Because if you apply the x of minus, you'll be getting a negative value, and a length can't be negative. So you would discard the x of minus. You're only going to use the x of plus.
Wait, hold on.
The triangle we're working on is the triangle given in the question, right?
Okay.
So you found
Yeah.
what x is. All we need to do is to substitute it into the expression for the length, because like we said earlier on, area of a triangle is equal to length times height divided by 2. Since we have found what x is, we found x to be two values. We actually got two values of x, minus 4.05 or 2.05. And I said x can be negative because if you substitute this minus, you'll be getting a negative value here. You can't have, oh sorry, yes, you will get a negative value here, and we can't have a negative length.
Okay.
That's why this one is ruled out. I've ruled out this one. This is the one we use.
Yeah.
Usually when you get two values of x, you have to make a decision on the appropriate one to use for your substitution. We can't use this because it will give us a negative value of length, which is not reasonable. We rule it out, so we use this positive one. So x is 2.05, so let's substitute to get the real length.
Okay.
So that length means the length is actually x, which is 2.05 plus 3. 2.05 is x plus 3. So the real length is actually 5.05, right? And the height is already given as p, as 5. So let's go ahead and find the area. I didn't want to do this here so that it doesn't get confusing. I wanted to actually do it at the bottom. So please, so that when someone is reading it, it wouldn't get confused by what was done. So let me do it at the bottom here. Just go to the bottom. I have the values already. This is, I'll just zoom in. Zoom into 200%. So this is 2.05 plus 3, that's the length, and we have I didn't draw it the way it is drawn. Okay, I just want to make sure it looks exactly the way it looks. The shape is this way. This is 5. All right, so applying the formula.
Yeah.
Area is equal
Yes.
to.
I've got 12.62.
That's 5.05 times breadth is 5/2. What do you say you got?
12.62.
12.6 is fine. If it is not specified the number of significant figures, just leave it to 3 significant figures. You said 12.63, right?
2.
62, so 12.6 is fine. So 12.6 centimeters squared is the unit given. So you can just say 12.6 units squared. The unit is not given. Calculate the area, so square units. Is that fine? All right. Okay. I think we can look at this other question. Go to the next page. There's a question I want to show you before we leave this. By the way, this is B. This is A, B. Next page. Look at this.
It's not this page.
Yeah, you're right. That's the page. Page 2 of
Okay.
20. This question.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Um,
The question itself says,
yeah, so I'm gonna use
yeah.
Pythagoras because yeah.
You said you're going to use
Um
what?
Pythagoras.
Are you sure? It says in the
Yeah, because
find the
like I
length.
can literally okay.
You know, you are asked to find the length of BC, not just the expression. You are asked to find the value itself. If you use
Yeah.
Pythagoras theorem, you will only end up getting an expression for the length. That's BC. You can't find a value with the Pythagoras theorem. There
Okay.
you have more information to help you with. Look at it says sine ACB is 9/16. What's sine, by the way?
Um I don't know how to explain it, but it's like
Trigonometry ratios. So it means
yeah.
so catois. You know what I mean by sine is what is sine is what over what will give you sine. Trigonometry ratio. Because we're giving sine ACB, and sine is opposite over hypotenuse, right?
Mm-hmm.
By the way, ACB is what angle?
Let's see.
The angle at C, yes. Opposite over hypotenuse, because sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Which side is the opposite? If C is the angle under consideration.
Um B.
Do you mean, what do you mean by B? Do you mean this length, length AB,
Yeah.
which is actually small letter c? You know, when you're naming angles, sides, the side that is opposite to a particular angle is represented with a small letter. So this would have been small letter c. While this side that is opposite to A would have been small letter a. And this side that is opposite to B would have been small letter b. Or you use letters because this side is AB, while this side is AC. This side is BC. Of course, this angle is ACB. ACB, the middle one, or BCA, the middle one. See. All right, so sine ACB, which is at C, is opposite over hypotenuse, and this is opposite. This opposite, and this hypotenuse. So what over what? We give you sine. We give you that.
Um 9/16.
9/16 is the sine, so we can write 9/16 is this sine ACB, and sine ACB is opposite over hypotenuse. What's the opposite?
X plus 2.
So 9/16, which is sine ACB, is equal to x plus 2, which is the opposite, over the hypotenuse, which is 2x plus 3.
Okay.
I need you to confirm if this is clear.
Yeah.
All right. So you just go ahead and solve. We cross multiply, isn't it?
Mhm.
All right. So sin ACB is this 9 over 6, and sine is opposite x plus 2 over 2x plus 3. So we cross multiply. 9 to multiply 2x plus 3 and 16 to multiply x plus 2. So we're going to have this 9 bracket 2x plus 3 equals 16 bracket x plus 2. So we open a bracket. I think we have 18x, which of course is 9 times 2x and 9 times 3, plus 27. Also for this other one, we have 16 times x and 16 times 2. So that gives us 16x plus 32. So how do we finish up this?
What's it called?
Color like terms, I believe.
Yeah.
So 18x minus 16x, collecting like terms. That's all the x's. Then we have 32 minus 27. All x's move to the left. All numbers on the right. So 18x minus 16x will give us 2x equals 32 minus 27 is 15. No, what's that? Please, your calculator.
Five.
What do you get?
Five.
5, okay. So what's x? 2.5, right?
Yeah. 2.5.
So it says find the length of BC. So what's the length of BC?
Okay.
This is when you can actually find the length of BC. All of that was to get us get x. So now you can apply the Pythagoras theorem. So you're not going to run away from it. To now find the length of BC. But you need to know all these lengths. We have found x. So what's the value of each of them now?
Hold on. Okay. So C is 4.5
Okay.
and B is
C is equal to 4.5 by substitution. X is 2.5. So we just say x, which is 2.5 plus 2, that's 4.5. And B is
8.
all right. 8, okay. B is 8 by substitution 8. All right. So we can apply Pythagoras theorem. Unfortunately, the letters look a bit different, so you need to be careful so that you don't misapply them. The idea is just the two sides, square of the two sides equal to square of the long side. So it's better you call this side you're looking for y or x or something. Okay, x square of these two sides added sum of the squares of these two sides equal to square of the longer side. So I think we would have written 4x, or 4.5 squared. 4.5 squared plus x squared equals 8 squared, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pythagoras theorem. Let me solve for 4.5 squared. What's 4.5 squared? Because x squared will be equal to 8 squared minus 4.5 squared. Collecting like terms. So what is 4.5 squared? Because x squared will be equal to 8 squared is 64 minus what? Let me get what 4.5 squared is.
No, no. Sorry, what did you say?
Let me get what 4.5 squared is.
Okay. It's 20.25.
20.25.
Yeah.
Alright, so x squared is what?
Okay. 43.75.
So x squared is 43.75. So what's x? Square root of that, right?
Yeah. 6.61.
6 point 6 point what?
6.61.
Okay, 6.61 to three significant figures. Alright, that's fine.